This is Tom Meyer, Superintendent, Bellevue Community School District, coming to you with this week's Believe in the Blue update, the Comet highlights from Monday night's board meeting. Wanted to share a few things with you in a fairly brief manner, but I do want to remind you that all the Comet highlights or notes from that meeting are on our website. So just go to the website, bellevue.k12.ia.us, go to district, and then go to the superintendent's page, and they'll be right there for you, the Comet highlights. First of all, we gave the oath of office to our three recently elected board members. A new board member was Eric Kilberg, and then returning board members were Marty Plussel and Janet Sieverding. The abstract of the election was approved by the county, also including those comment highlights that I talked about online. Then we gave an overview of the school finance and where we're at. The district is in very good shape financially. It is all based on enrollment, or a great deal is based on enrollment, the amount of funds that we can have, that we can get from the state. And just recognizing when we look at our unspent authorized budget, we are at roughly 30% that way, and that consistency goes on for a few years. It starts to go down based on taking some conservative approaches here with enrollment and what could happen in the future. The more our enrollment goes up, typically, probably the better off we are financially as well. I did go through some general categories. I'm not going to go over all the categories, but I encourage you to look at those. But the general fund, the PEPL, so general fund, that money, property tax money from the state goes toward salaries and benefits, curriculum and programs, new books, new curriculum, transportation, electricity, water, heating, cooling, dropout prevention items, and things like that. Our PEPL goes toward the physical plant and equipment levy goes toward the physical plant and equipment. That's simple, basically. And there's some other things you'll see in there too, but I want you to recognize that, including the Student Activities Fund, which is completely separate from the general fund, just like the general fund is completely separate from building a building, such as we're doing now. That is not general fund money. All of the money from the general obligation bond that was approved by the district is in a separate account, can only be used for the elementary building and the project itself. It cannot be used to do something at the middle school, high school building, at the former elementary building, or the current elementary building, and things like that. So just recognize that as some good basic information, readable information that makes it somewhat easy to understand. So we had an organizational meeting that way. We approved some open enrollments, some recommendations for highlighting a couple of those recommendations. One was Derek Plager as one of our new custodians in the district. And another one is Brandy Bailey as middle school girls wrestling. She also helps out with the high school wrestling, especially the girls right now. And we have Bud Schrader as the head high school varsity softball coach that way. So just recognizing that. Gave some facility updates and discussions. I could go through a lot of things here, but we talked about the floor plan, some different things that are happening there. We're trying to get everything finalized so it goes out for bid in January. Then we will accept bids through in February. We will open up the bids in February, and then hopefully breaking ground in March. So time is ticking away on that, making a lot of final plans from anything from security, cameras, classrooms, the amount of toilets, paper towel dispensers, everything like that. I have a list of things that were as far as furniture included in the bid, and then furniture and other items outside of the bid, recognizing our classrooms, our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade classrooms, that furniture will come out with those students that way, or those classrooms. When we look at an art room, we need different things because we still have an art room or an art area at the elementary, a music area. So different things like that where we're going to have duplicated services. We need other furniture for those areas as well. There's a floor plan in the comment highlights that you'll see, some minutes of meetings that we had, working with OPN architects and engineers. Actually just had another meeting today with them about safety and security and locking down of doors and finalizing what we want there, along with an intercom system, camera system, and different things associated in those areas. We approved some early graduates as well. Most of the students are going to work right now. That number's kind of increased some. I think some of that has been based on our work-based learning program, getting people out there. They recognize, hey, I want to make some money. Some of those students are going to work now, then go to college later. One of those students is going to college immediately as well. We approved the school budget review committee for some extra spending authority. It's not money, but it's authority for us to spend based on open enrollment out, not on last year's count, and then also for limited English proficiency that way. So that just gives us the authority. That unspent authorized budget I talked about, it's that money that we've saved up over the years. this adds a little bit more to it. We also approved a policy, board policy 405.2, where ultimately all teaching positions, instead of being put on Teach Iowa, which is no longer in existence, they now go to iowaworks.gov. Had a comment reading and reflection from a book called Peak by Anderson Erickson and Robert Poole. And the section I picked out was the part dealing with 10,000 hours. And I think that's a really interesting part, that yes, you can put a lot of time into something, and you need to put a lot of time into something to be excellent at it. But at the same time, you have to be doing something right. We talk about how that connects with education, talk with the principals and instructional coaches about that as well last week. So interesting conversation there. With a review of our winter concerts, we had an outstanding turnout once again for our elementary concerts that split it up into 2 nights this year for the first time, PK through 2 on one night, 3 through 5 another night. The first night, the PK through 2, we had over 800 people in attendance, which was a great turnout, a great problem to have finding seating for people, making some adjustments for next year, but it's really a good concert. And it's really a time for our students to show what they are learning in music, not just for the holiday season, but beyond. And we're happy with how that went, and happy with everyone in attendance there. Seating was somewhat of an issue at the beginning there, but we did straighten that out. I think we have some more planning for next year that way. But it was an excellent turnout. Over the 2 nights, we probably had, now some of these were duplicate people over the 2 nights, we probably had about 1,500 to 1,600 people over those 2 nights. Let's talk about extracurricular activities. We have 23 boys out for high school basketball. In wrestling, we have 25 boys and we have 11 girls. That's 9 returnees from last year. Remember, we had a couple people go to state last year. So we have a very large number overall. When you look around our area, the amount of girls out for wrestling is very high. Our boys, we have a full team this year. And then we have 6 boys out for bowling right now. So all those seasons are underway. There's actually a bowling meet tonight. There's basketball games here tomorrow. Encourage you to come out and watch those. Those start up already at 4:30 with some fresh soft games and JV. Also talk about how well we're fielding a full team of girls for fresh soft and JV games that way, whatever you want to call them in our case. Some other schools in our conference are not able to do that. Some larger schools than us, Monticello, West Liberty, Anamosa, are not able to field full teams. So trying to get our girls an opportunity to play as well. Also talk about an organizational chart of where things fall with the organization of supervision. Then we talk about midterm superintendent review. That would be me, and we do an informal one every January, and we'll do the same thing this year again. And then also recognize a teacher of the month. Amanda Canganelli was the Anderson Weber Toyota Teacher of the Month. That company's in Dubuque selling cars, but they recognize one of our teachers based on a student recommendation for her. So congratulations to Amanda, who teaches K-12 art. We'll be getting a survey out after break to staff, and you'll also see that as parents. And finally, I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about our board members. I mentioned the 3 members that took an oath of office: Janet Sieverding, Marty Plussel, and Eric Kilberg. Other 2 board members are Mike Reed and Allison Boniface. Mike Reed was elected president this year, once again maintaining that spot. And then Janet Sieverding will also continue on as vice president. We have a wonderful board, and they're always open to conversations. I encourage you to reach out to them, reach out to me, reach out to anyone in the school at any time when you have questions. At this time, I also like to wish everyone happy holidays. Have a great holiday season. Remember, our last day of school for students is next Wednesday. That would be December 20th. I'd look at my calendar quick, make sure I told you the right date, December 20th. We also put those things in the weekly Comet, that district newsletter. Have a great day, everyone. Also encourage you to come out and see the concert tonight.